Okay. I might have fucked it up. I'm gonna probably have to go in and delete that because I decided because I was trying to fix something and I made everything way worse. Um, now I have to now it's not showing. Oh, now it's not. There we go. I was trying to get the YouTube live control panel to work and it was. Yeah, I want the one that's going on right now. There we go. Now I can see what's going on. Um, Okay, sorry about that. I hope that doesn't mess it up and make it so nobody ends up watching this. But I think I might give people a moment to kind of file in, or at least those that come in. But we're working on a new bot today. The whole point. So I'm pretty sure anybody who does anything in combat robotics, they inevitably end up trying to have their own kit. I'm going to basically create my own kit. It's going to start out as a free plastic ant design is the plan. And the idea of it is going to like sell the files. Basically, I'm going to try to do on my own what I tried to do with the video when I did the free plastic ant weight design video, where I essentially I'm going to make this design and then I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to create videos around using this specific robot to like teach people all the lessons, because I feel like a thing with a lot of videos, it's either I'm just talking about my robot and what I did, and with this it's like, okay, I'm going to show you guys with the intent of people being able to follow along and sort of use it to teach people. I guess the way that it'll be differentiated from kits that other people make or designs that other people shared is it's going to coincide with some of the videos I make. So think about it that way. And the idea is I'm going to have it be a spinner and I'm going to have it use a lot of the same parts while being able to be a spinner and a lifter is the idea. And I'm also want it to be I'm also planning on designing it in a way that'd be easy to upgrade from a plastic ant into a regular ant. So I'm having to like think of this being more than one thing at one time. So we'll see how it actually works out. I forgot I was going to turn on music. But yeah, and I'm trying to make it relatively affordable and stuff like that. So is that also a concern? So we'll see if it actually ends up being that way. I'll be a vertical spinner because mostly because that it'll how I have it. I'm gonna design it in a way that it's gonna also have a configuration that's a lifter. The vertical spinner kind of slots in. You can see I've kind of started with the spinner aspect, because I feel like this is gonna dictate some of the dimensions more than I think the lifter part will. And I purposely made this weapon 2.5 inches in diameter. That way it can be upgraded into a like full ant by just using the finger tech spinner thing, like the vertical spinner. And we're gonna use N20s for it is the idea. So I think I might I'm debating where I want to start with this. Because this is sort of where it's meant to be. This is because this is essentially above the origin, because the top plane is where the base plate's going to be. The front plane is basically where the center is. And the right plane is like dead center. And not the center of the weapon, but the center of basically where the uprights are supposed to go. Unfortunately, I haven't thought about this robot too much before doing this stream. But it's going to be kind of weird because I'm going to be effectively trying to worry about more. It's trying to make it as 2 bots all at once. I don't want to do that. Did I create a part for the body? Oh, bumping your way through what exactly? Because I mean, I know there's some videos about designing robots, but which part are you sort of bumping your way through? Because I feel like a lot of people with a lot of the videos, and I find myself doing this as well, where there so many robots are so different, it sometimes can be hard to like be. People are, I think, afraid to be too specific when giving, I think, some advice, especially in video format. Yeah, soldering, if you don't know how to do it, can be a big learning curve. I'm not a huge fan of heat set inserts. I haven't really used those on my robot. You either heat shrink. Oh yeah, I mean, heat shrink is a method. I actually don't use heat shrink a lot of times. Sometimes I use hot glue. Sometimes I just use tape. But yeah, making sure that connections are insulated is important. But yeah, heat shrink does help. And I think the thing is about soldering and a lot of about protecting electrical connections is, even though like, because I feel like as someone who's making content about combat robotics, like there's so many people that are already on YouTube that have stuff on how to solder, so I feel less the need to teach people how to solder. Honestly, a lot of my I use hot glue on a lot of connections because what's this do? Because hey there, Rowan. Glad you could join us. I actually use hot glue on all my connections. On my plastic and I spun up my weapon, bumped into a wall. And my top plate flew off, ripping the screws out. I know if you use regular screws into plastic, it won't work. What you need is you need either wood screws or plastite screws. Yeah, soldering, like at a certain point you just need to do it a bunch and mess up. I can't say that like some video just like told me exactly what to do. Eventually I just did it a bunch. Ideally, you have the opportunity that you can be able to solder things that don't matter as much, like practice soldering on like just sort of cheap components and not on your $50 ESC that you got, machine screws. Yeah, if you're not using plastite screws, I would use wood screws. Wood screws can give you enough engagement. Because Ozark Howler, Yeah, luckily well, actually I hadn't soldered too much before I started doing combat robotics, but I did some soldering at my job. I know some kits even still require you to know how to solder, but yeah, soldering's a good skill to have. Four mils, good. The next event I'm going to is Harbor City Riot up in Minnesota. Scalar. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the scalar. I didn't like know specifically like offhand that the scalar uses needs soldering, but I know that Peter, I think, explicitly, purposefully doesn't require soldering for it because I think he believes that you should know how to solder. So I think that was a distinct decision. Him, the scalar not having soldering, because he basically said he has no intentions on making it like pre-soldered or have a pre-soldered version. RCL. Oh, is that the Robot Combat League? Is that what you mean? Oh, St. Louis. I'm not going to be going to that SEMO event, not the St. Louis one. I have too many events that month. It's like, because I'll be going to RSL and Michigan Mashup, and that's like right in between. But yeah, I'm not going to Robot Combat League. I think my only robot that I have that would be even... I got an email, I think it was today, them saying that I might be able to go. It's like, I'm not going all the way to San Diego or whatever for a maybe for my Antweight robot. Because it's like the top 40, I think 45 to 66, they send you an email saying maybe, and I'm like ranked 65. So I'd be the last, so I'd be the bottom seed. I'm like, that sounds like I'm not going to San Diego for that to get my butt kicked. Plus, I haven't really been giving Bigfoot much love lately. Plus, that trip is going to be so expensive because California is not cheap. And that's ignoring the distance I'd have to travel. Actually, I don't think I want this here. Yeah, I'm planning on going to what was it called? NHRL in June. That's gonna be my big trip for combat robots. He's going to NHRL, so that in and of itself is gonna be a big enough trip. So oh yeah, if you're in California, that's much less of a big deal. But I mean, if I lived in California, that would affect the decision. I'm just gonna make this a length. Obviously, I'm not committed to any specific. Oh, that feels really short. Yeah. Plus, I feel like Plus, do people care about RCE rankings? Because I feel like it's like I don't factor it into when I go into events. I don't really think about it. Are other people like paying attention? But yeah. Why is it being temperamental today? That feels... Yeah, we'll just roll with this for now. I know I gotta cut holes. Actually, we'll just make it an even 6mm. Yeah, maybe some Euro. Maybe if with a bigger robot, I would consider going to nationals. By Nashville. I haven't been to an aquarium in a while now that I think about it. I don't think since I was in Oklahoma. What the hell? Oh, I can't remember. What are the... I can't remember what the prizes were for the RSL or RCL? RCL? Not RSL, that's a different thing. RCL Nationals. Also, normally it doesn't show these. Chattanooga. No, I wasn't Oklahoma. What am I thinking? I wasn't thinking Oklahoma. It was... Now I'm forgetting what state. Oh, where was I? Now I'm trying to remember. It was on the way to... Sorry. It was... Was it the Oklahoma? Now I'm forgetting. I don't think it was Oklahoma. The Kansas? No. Do I have to pull up a map of the United States? Now I'm trying to remember what I was... Was it Nebraska? I'm trying to remember which one is in Nebraska, which... Or no, that was the zoo in Nebraska. I don't remember. Oh, a few hundred. Basically, it's an aquarium somewhere in Nebraska. I think it was... Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was in Nebraska. Because it's between Wisconsin and Colorado. Omaha. It was Omaha, Nebraska. That was the aquarium, I think. Or maybe I'm thinking of the zoo, which is even sillier that I'm beginning to confuse zoo. Because I know the Omaha Zoo is a big deal. I don't remember if... I'm pretty sure we also... Or maybe I'm thinking of the aquarium at that zoo. Because most zoos have aquariums. But that's one of the better zoos in the country. The Omaha. Okay. Have fun in school. God. There we go. Okay, back to what I was doing. Omaha. Oh, somehow we're tying into a lot of where people are from today. A lot of people from the same space. A lot of people is. Yeah, the Omaha Zoo. Yeah, it was a great zoo. We had a great time there. Definitely one of the nicer zoos that I've been to. Remember in what order I want to design these parts, because I know that the height of the robot is being determined by a different configuration. When did you go last? It was a couple years ago. I think a summer or two ago. I'm trying to remember. It was either 2022 or 2023, I think. It wasn't 2024, but it's 2022 or 2023. I want to say 2023, during the summer. What happens if I go back to the normal configuration? Okay, it's all still. Oh, you weren't this isn't I don't this is definitely not going to be ready by April. I'm trying to design my own sort of kit like everyone else does, but it is going to be a plant, but it's going to be a design that I post like for free for everybody. And then I'm going to make more guide content, sort of walking people through how to build a robot using this design. Is sort of the whole idea. I don't know how quickly this is going to be like in existence, but I would not expect April for that to be when this comes around. Oh, that gear is tiny. Trying to. Interesting. Oh, I. But yeah, this is so. So I'm trying to have a configuration where there's a spinner and also a. What am I trying to say? And a lifter. Trying to get all steps of the teaching process, but I'm thinking maybe now I'm realizing I'm rethinking how I want to do this lifter mechanism. But I'm definitely gonna need. I think I'm probably gonna need a bigger gear than what I have, but This is definitely going to be one of those where it's this is mated to that. Like that. Because what I was thinking for the lifter, since you see the gear, is going to be one of those gear-based ones, but I'm realizing, because I was originally like, oh, it'll mount to here, the gear will go to it. I'm like, wait a minute, there's a big dissonance there. This is going to be a massive gear. A comic, that would be kind of funny. It's just a massive gear. Because this is like a two, they'd have to 2.5 inch diameter gear practically. Practically just a spinner at that point. Yeah. Yeah, I could do the direct, but then I'd be switching. Because the idea is also I want to keep it in a way that the electronics don't break. So I want it to, because otherwise I could just do the servo with the horn directly to the lifter. But then, yeah. Well, it's not going to be a spinner and a lifter at the same time, but the idea is it uses a lot of the same parts. But because the idea is like, oh yeah, we're going to tell you how to make it a lifter, and then I don't know. I may end up, yeah, because I think I see what you're trying to say. Because I'm trying to use a lot of the same parts. But maybe I need to not focus so much on using all the same parts. I just need like the printed parts. I need to have like a general design. Yeah. Because the idea is that literally you take out the servo and then you put in the spinner like you swap the electronics basically. Like because the lifter is mounted here, but then if you want to, when it's a spinner, you take off this part, you take out the servo, and you put the brushless outrunner there. But yeah, because what I'm trying to do is have it be the same parts, which is, I think, a big task. I was considering because I was considering having for when it to convert it, the upright be removable. So I'm guessing it would probably make sense just to have the plastic version have the upright removable. So that might be the play. Yeah, swapping the whole uprights because I was also gonna teach people how to go from plant to full ant, and I was thinking about having the uprights be separate because typically everything else is TPU than the uprights. So yeah, having the uprights be their own part. Maybe I might be trying to do too much at once. Yeah, I think you guys are right. So we'll rename. I'm gonna rename this instead of throwing it out. We'll do spinner, because I think spinner upright. We'll call it that. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with the spinner version. Maybe. Do I want to start with the spinner? It's gonna still have to be we'll start with the spinner version for nah. Or do I start with the servo version? I'm trying to think of what would dictate. I think the servo version, since that's gonna be inside the robot, I think that might dictate the size more. I'd go here. I'm gonna suppress this. Mm. So we're gonna have to need a new part. I'm also debating if I want to do two, because I originally had the thought of 4 wheels. I'm debating if I want to do that or if I want to do 2 wheels. But because I was gonna have a little 3D printed gear for the wheels, but nope, that's not what I want to do. Why does this sound like it's from RuneScape? This music. Giving RuneScape. Actually, wait, if this is a replaceable upright, I'm going to want it to be in line with the bottom of the robot, not part of the body. Because I'm trying to think. It always takes me a minute to get started on a lot of robots, and then there's like always a point where it starts to click. This is going to be the same height as the servo practically. We'll give it an extra millimeter actually in the servo, because ideally all the electronics should be able to fit below the servo. Actually, making it 22, I think an even number is better. Millimeters. That way there's just so we're not like pushing down the top of the robot onto. I think because it's gonna be slightly above. I feel like now I'm thinking, because originally it was gonna like the lifter is gonna be in the front and go up. But now I'm thinking of doing it the other way around, where the lifter's in the back. Kind of like the plifter. Kind of more like this, the plifter, where it's in the back. Although, unlike the plifter, I'm not going to have 4 N20s. Because that feels excessive, if you ask me. Actually, what am I doing? I think it'll also be more effect. It'll be a better idea. I delete the. Oh, I deleted the line like a goober. Let's see. That's hard to say. I guess depends on the servo that they end up using. Because it's going to be a standard servo. So ideally it would. Yeah. And the thing is also, if it's a plastic ant kit, or it's a plastic ant design that somebody prints off, if they like print it off, then they're probably going to be using whatever servo they have lying around. But yeah, because I mean, a lot of servos should theoretically be able to. But I may need to test it. I think I'm gonna run it this way, and I'm definitely gonna test it with different servos to see if it ends up working. Because ideally, it also shouldn't be that long a robot too. Because that's also a factor. If it's a short robot, I haven't decided how long the robot's gonna be yet, but yeah, because it's a standard servo. I'm not trying to go too small. Most standard, like you could probably get a pretty cheap standard servo. Forgot how. I don't know. I don't know how long that robot will end up being. I just need a number. But this. Inch wide feels too much. I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, micro servo. Yeah, I feel like a lot of micro servos use because I was going through a whole thing trying to get servo horns for a micro servo, which makes me not want to use micro servos for this purpose. I think I want to swap this servo around before I go too far. Because if we're doing it that way, we're going to want to. Yeah, I get what you mean. But yeah, I feel like standard servos, it's just going to be easier for people to source them because I know, like, yeah, it was a whole thing. And like, yeah, there's just fewer options for micro servos. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. I don't want to like put people in a situation where they have to look for something that's difficult to find. I don't know what this looks. Okay, we're gonna evaluate this. Yeah, so much. Yeah, there's so many more accessories. So yeah, that's pretty much the main reason why I'm using a standard servo. It's just easier. People are more likely to have stuff for it just on hand. I'm rethinking of how I did this because I realize this is going to create a small feature, but like this would be thin feature here, so I may adjust it. Yeah, I know. I know. I mean, that's why I used a micro servo on Bigfoot to save weight. But yeah, just if they want to put a micro servo on it in this, that's on them. But we're actually just gonna delete. But yeah, also I feel like to get a good, it's all you can get a good standard servo for a lot cheaper than a good um, micro servo, at least for an ant weight robot or whatever. Like obviously, if you're trying to throw something in a beetle, you're going to be spending a little bit more money. But what size? Because I'm trying to think. We're going to be using some sort of shaft for this, right? So Bigfoot, I think 4mm would be good enough. Because I'm trying to think, is this gonna be, if I'm gonna, like, am I gonna have them use a shoulder? It's like, or are they, because like it's one thing, like if I'm making my own robot, I care a lot less about costs, and like I'm like, whatever, I'll figure it out. But I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna be having them buy shoulder bolts or have to pick out shoulder bolts. So I think we're gonna want something that can be 3D printed, which is gonna increase the diet, or maybe 3. No, or at least it's gonna have to be a regular. Yes, no, because a plistern uses just a regular bolt, I think. Because I want the mechanism to be indirect, so that way if they take a hit, I want them to lose 3D printed parts instead of the electronics. I think 4mm is the right. Well, probably 4.4 because how holes work. So that's 24. Feels kind of low. Because what I'm thinking is the fact that it's going to be wrapping around it. I want to keep it probably as close to right above the gear as possible. Even if it's not perfect. And maybe now we're back to having this be coincident with this. Want to go up. I think we wanted to do this. This. I think what we're going to do is just a distance from that. Have be 6. And then we're going to have this. Actually, no, what we want to do is we'll basically just no. What the? No. Gross. No. That's what I want to do. I want to do it's basically distance from here to here. Actually, no, what we want to do. Oh, God, what have I done? Yeah, I feel like always the first time me trying to work on a CAD for robot is real slow because I'm like making a lot more decisions instead of just doing. And then like this next time I get into CAD, like I've been thinking about it for a whole last week. And so then it's like, okay, now I know what we're doing. That feels like a bit much. I need to remember also this doesn't need to be crazy competitive. This needs to ideally be, I feel like it needs to be easy to assemble, easy to print. It needs to at least work, like function. And it needs to not be expensive or complicated. Okay. Okay, so that's the idea of that. And then I want to make this whole separate. Because these are going to be dependent on the actual body of the robot. I'm trying to think. I don't think I used a Go Build a servo as the default because that's what I have CAD for. But I don't know if that's definitely not going to be what I have them use because that's I mean I think it should work with a Go Build a servo considering the fact that they make halfway decent servos, but because what's annoying to me is this little bit. Whoops. The little there's that they have that little like fillet thing. This music kind of goes hard. There we go. Okay, back to what I was doing. These are supposed to be normally 4mm screws. Um, 41. 20. 20.5. Okay, we're almost We'll make this vertical, and then boom. I just realized the problem. I realized this butts up against there, so I don't have anything to mount the rest of the I realized, yeah, I have to have something that the rest of the upright has to mount to something. Because currently the upright's not mounted to anything, at least in the back. So I need, you know what? Ah, God damn it. I'll do it the right way before not create a fucking rat's nest. Because I have to create a little bit of some material behind it, behind the servo. I think instead, actually do, yeah, I'll do a distance mate. Wait, oh, that's not what I want to do at all. Six months? Is that a lot? I just want room to be able to put a hole. Get that. Those holes move just fine. We might not be able to have to move. Like, do I want to be able to? I may want to have mounted from the top too. Now I'm realizing it's gonna probably end up. Yeah, I was like, am I gonna end up changing the top plates too? Not that that's the end of the world, but. Okay. I feel like we'd almost need to have some sort of screws. I don't think I can just have it be like just 3D printed going through this. In my other configuration, what did I have the base plate size being? 4mm thick base plate. I think 2mm top plates. If we have a 4mm base plate, and the middle part is 22mm because we have the 2 plus the servo, or servo plus 2. I think if we do 2mm top plate, because we don't need as much there, makes a total height of 28mm. Check something real quick. I'm trying to remember how much the how big the Lego tire of 37. Because I was thinking, I'm like, oh, I might utilize Lego tires. If these are 37mm tall, that could work. So I think I want to create a new plane. And I'm trying to create a plane for where the wheels will be. Top plane, I guess. And if it's 28mm high, 14 from the bottom of the robot plus the base plate, so this will be 10mm offset from the top plane. Okay. And this would theoretically give enough room also if people wanted to upgrade the motors. Repeat robotics. Motors. Because just for comparison. Let's take a look at how long repeat robotics motors are. Because I personally use a lot of repeat robotics motors, so I feel having the ability to upgrade, I think, would be an option people might want. And so instead of because like the idea is that people might want to change it. But do I have meaningful planes on here? I do. Rename. Builds. Yeah, I'm not gonna do crazy min-maxing like I did on like Hodag and stuff, but I think for the sake of this, I'm gonna just have that meet that. Because realistically, that's probably how it's gonna be. So. just for vibes. And then some of these songs. I'm just going to do this to the right plane. And then we're going to pick a distance. 20 just so we can actually see it. What's 60 millimeters? No, 80 millimeters? 90. It's tight, but it's tight for the repeat robotics, but it's roomy for with this N20, which is what it should be. I do not like this song. There we go. This is like I'm gonna lose it. There we go. There we go. Sorry. That whatever instrument that was in every track by that person, driving me nuts. I realize this is gonna accidentally be a wide bot, but I guess that's probably good. I guess I think I just made. I think Bigfoot was such a long bot that other robots feel wide. Okay. Because I worry if I do direct drive with the N20s, it's going to break too often. So I'm trying to do some sort of indirect drive with the N20s. Which is why I kind of wanted to do 4 wheels. That way it'd be like a gear coming off of the N20 going to 2 wheels. I think we can that at least. If I need it later, I need it later. What do I need for? I need to design a gear, don't I? I don't like designing gears. Because so many times whenever I design a gear or a pulley, I just steal a pulley off steel CAD and then modify it. But and I forgot to do that ahead of time, so I'm gonna avoid doing that. Actually, what I want to do, insert component. Like, yeah, because the Lego tires. They're pretty large diameter tires. I think I think I'm gonna have to do some offline research about Odd McMaster car, but for now I think I need to create the body of the robot. Also, just to give a vibe check, I want to throw in a battery. I'm assuming 3S 380 milliamp hour, for just so that can go with the spinner configuration to have an idea of what, make sure we have enough room for everything. Because the servo version will not need a battery this big, but we're making the same body, so. But yeah, this is obviously going to go on the side without the servo. Well, obviously it's not going to, you know what I mean. Getting ahead. Okay. This, ironically, this width of this length of the robot might work. I'm going to create some holes. So the holes on the bottom need to be the exact same as for the other upright, or for the spinner version, but I don't think they necessarily need to be. I don't think the top plates need, or top holes need to be the same, because I don't, the top realistically, oh god, not 32. We'll do 3mm for now, because the top plate will probably have to be different anyways, so why bother having the holes be the same? Honestly, through all might be the answer, because it's for this part. Because what? Blind. Let's say 6mm. 6mm might actually work. I'll worry about the top plate later. Honestly, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to edit part, feature mirror. We'll just mirror the whole body. Do not merge solids. There's not really much reason to not, I guess for now we're going to do that. I'm realizing, okay, we'll go back to modifying. I'm realizing I'm going to need a hold for the electronics to go through, but I think that's, I'm going to worry about that in a minute. I don't have a body yet, so I think I'd be getting a little ahead of myself trying to do that now. I think an also a problem I have at the start is there's so many things that need to happen that I like lose track. I'm like keep jumping between things. Because Nope, I am not editing this. I should be editing this. There we go. I haven't saved in a hot minute. Save everything. Okay, now it's going to be much happier with me. Now we're going to edit this. The base of the robot. Probably we're gonna keep it square, not overthink it. Not sure what the frick I'm doing. Or I've done. This should be. You know what? I'm not gonna. What am I doing? I keep this. I have like, we're now 2 millimeters ahead of the upright. We're gonna worry about the actual, actually probably less than that, but and since the back of the robot, we don't want them to be able to hit those uprights. We'll have, for now, 3 millimeters. I mean, these N20s don't give much to work with, so. Then we're going to mirror that about the right plane. We like our robots very symmetrical, very mindful, very demure. We'll see how square this actually ends up being. I may cut out some corners. Hopefully mostly figuratively and not, or literally not figuratively. Not literally cutting corners as in. I'm debating what thing I want to do next. I haven't decided where to put the N20 yet. I haven't settled on that. Because I realize there's going to be some things I need to look at that are going to be really boring if I just do them now. That action. Excuse me, what? That's not the line I clicked on, right? Oh, is this one? There we go. The idea here is that we want some material kind of between them to kind of keep that in place and support it. We want to support our might be too close to that it to be. And we'll do 5 millimeters. We want to give it some breathing room. Actually, maybe I don't want that coincident. A little breathing room too. Probably just do something like this. Wherever the N20 ends up. It's gonna probably pretty far from what it's gonna end up looking like. But there's some things I forgot to prep ahead of stream, so this is what you're getting. Yeah. Come on, just work with me here. Collinear. Not sure what the plan is. I think. Oh, I am working on my own kit bot. It's gonna be a design that I'm gonna put up that people can work on, or that people can make themselves and ideally 3D print themselves. And then I'm basically it's going to tie into some videos that I'm going to work on. So I'm going to have videos in order to teach people, instead of having to like be all vague on trying to explain things. I'll have the CAD for people and they can 3D print stuff and they can sort of follow along, is going to be the idea behind it. That way it's just sort of designing my own kit, but with the purpose of me being able to use it as a teaching tool, essentially, to coincide with my more like with guide videos specifically. So it's basically going to entirely be a teaching tool. But so this is not meant to be a competitive bot. It's meant to be an accessible bot. So I'll probably run it as a plastic ant lifter, a plastic ant spinner, and then I'll do stuff to like upgrade it and stuff. Like by upgrade it, I mean to like a full ant. Although I might also do other purposeful upgrades, like to try to prove a point. Yeah, this is my first my first day working on it, so it doesn't look anything like how it's gonna end up. Okay. Oh, is this not fully enclosed? Oh, I think I'm missing like one line. Right here's what I'm missing. Is it? Oh, no, it's complete. This is bitter. Actually, realistically, we're probably going to the height of the N20. But I remember how high I have that technically. Yeah, it'll be about what it's supposed to be. Probably not the best way for me to do this, but I need to really hash out where this N20 is going, because okay. So I'm gonna have to look at some gears, but unfortunately I didn't want to do it on that's gonna be what I'm gonna end up doing probably sometime between now and the next stream, is figuring out what gears I was gonna try to alternate in order to make, because I want to do indirect drive, because I'm using N20s, and I feel like if I don't use indirect drive, then I'm like these N20s are gonna break. And ideally, if people, I don't want people to be rebuying electronics a bunch. Hmm. Combat robots. Jackalope had the that's where they had this. So the idea is I'm gonna use essentially, because the diameter of this. No, we want this in we want millimeters, not inches. Okay. So it's yeah, it's gonna be over 30 millimeters. So I want slightly bigger ears and one more. Sorry, I don't want to share my McMaster car screen because that feels personal. Or mostly because I don't want to accidentally because they save all my data. I don't want to like accidentally dox myself and give people like my credit card info. That'd be awkward. $28 maybe. Okay. OD. Outer diameter. Because I want a big gear on this, and then we want a little gear. Yeah. $31 millimeters. We want a gear slightly smaller. 30 might be cutting it. Like an outer diameter? I guess over outer diameter, that actually would be probably perfect. Okay, so this is the gear I'm gonna do. I did this like last week, so should be fresh in my head. Was it last week? Maybe it was. Actually, it was last week. It is recently, so it should be fresh in my mind how to do this. Instructional use. That. Perfect. Almost. Okay, so this one. Okay. Save as new since I'm modifying the crap out of this, so. V1 geared Lego tire. And then we want to then we're gonna have a component list. I haven't hashed out the electronics. entirely, but it's gonna be, I'm gonna be trying to use N20s for the motors, just a standard servo, and I'm trying to make this is not gonna be a this is not a fancy robot. This is more of an instructional, easy to build robot. This is not going to be a high speed this is not going to be one of those high speed low drag robots. Although I think we do go with the 4mm shaft. I think. Here. $4mm shaft. 4.4. I think I'm gonna start out trying to have it be more of a plastic ant kit. Although I'm planning on creating videos specifically around this kit where I can, oh my god, where I can, oh, it's in inches, that's why. So I can, like, people can follow along, like, with the videos, and I teach combat robotics through it. So it's probably, so I'm definitely, the designs for this version that you're seeing here are definitely going to be like for free online at some point. I might sell it. But that's not the current priority. The current priority is not trying to sell it. Why is this in inches? Forgot that this inches. I need to change this. But yeah, it's supposed to coincide with the content and videos that I'm making. Insert component. But yeah. Oh, that's not what I want. Wait a minute. Not saved? I'm just surprised it wasn't. I'm just confused why it wasn't popping up. Feel being weird. Okay. Please tell me no, we're good. I was kind of worried that that we didn't have good what's it called? Mates, or not mates. You know what I mean? That. Oh, good. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now we need to figure out what gear's going on here. This is gonna probably end up looking a lot like tangential drive because we're gonna have the gears. I kind of got inspired by the what am I trying to say? By Joseph Betts's like the necessary evil kit and how he has the how he has his. I think we're gonna want we're gonna definitely want a smaller gear than that. For going from the motor to that. Because the whole idea is that we don't want the that getting hit at all. We probably want a 4mm just in we'll do this and we'll probably do the largest one. 16mm. Actually, me thinking about it. Actually, no. From here to there to the bottom of the robot's probably 30. So yeah, I don't think that should be the concern. Hmm. Oh, diameter? Sorry. I think this is what we want. Okay, CAD files. Whoops, too far back. One. Nope, one. We're not. There's not suddenly. Drive gear, I guess. We'll call it the drive gear. Yeah, older version. Okay. Yeah, I generally avoid having to actively design a gear. Do this and we'll do it. That, make it simple. And since going my why is this in, oh, I know it's why it's in frickin' because it's a McMaster car part. That's probably why. Excuse me, what? I broke the actual gear part. Does it really not work? Oh my god. It only works if it's in inches, I guess. Whoops. My bad. I didn't realize the Imperial system was a key feature for the gear. Silly me. Oh, yep, I forgot we're in inches. 4mm. Oh, sorry. Divide that by 2. I'm like, that's not supposed to be that big. Not that big. And then we're going to cut. That. Then we want to do this. Get that out. Because we're trying to make this a drive shaft. Surface, yeah. Apparently they knew what I wanted before I did. I guess we'll see how this works. Yeah, I think. Oh, that looks good. I like how that looks. Debate it. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not. I don't. Set screws aren't going to be as much of a thing, but. And be. Oh, I should check something real quick. I need to figure out how close these need to be. I may need to end up messing with it, but. First off, we probably go that to that. Probably ideal. Oh, is that going to be a problem? Not quite big enough, maybe. You're going to be accidentally tangential drive too. See. I guess it'll probably be slight. Ooh. I'm sure it's fine. It's tangential drive, right? We'll see how. Oh yeah, I haven't just figured out how close it is. Like, is there a sketch in these that's gonna help me out? Yeah, I'm not fucking with that. Okay, first off, we want to make this some of these planes actually useful. This plane parallel to the front plane. No. Parallel. No. Because we don't need it right there. And we want. We'll probably do that same plane. Honestly, Smart me. If I was smart, I would do the math, but we're just gonna do it based off vibes. Or maybe I'll get around to it later. I'll do the math, but for now we're gonna do it based on vibes, and I don't think you guys want to, because the if I was hoping there were, I'll have to look at the sketches from the original Gears, because small one we have the, it doesn't say 12mm pitch. Oh wait, I think I see a little bit. Product detail. 28 pitch, 28mm pitch. And so the distance should be those added together divided by half, added together 28, so it should be 20mm. Okay. I don't know why I was going to be lazy and not do that. Because that was a lot easier than I thought. 20mm. Should be the correct pitch. Okay. That's out of the way. And then we need to, we want a mirror component. Right now we don't want, that's not a, we want to do linear mirror components. There we go. Probably we want to do the right plane of that motor. That N20. That way we don't have to do that thing again. Then we want. Wait. What? That's not how that works. Oh, it's the front plane. That's why I'm like, hold up. Okay. There we go. I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. And then we're actually just gonna mirror all those things, mirror plane, the right plane, and we're just up. No, I click in random. There we go. Mirror that about the right plane. What? I'm losing it. Did I accidentally click on? For some reason, this whole assembly is like clicking on planes that I don't want to click on. There's gonna be a weirdly wide bot, but yes. Okay. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Oh yeah, this is gonna be kind of a roomy bot. I should save. I think I want the wheels to be able to touch in the rear direction. Debating if this is, do I need to make this shorter? By shorter, I mean, do I need to make the, just lean in on it being, like, does it, I guess, no. Like, is this any wider front to back than it needs to be as far as the innards? We got room in front of the servo. This battery. Like a more intuitive way to put the battery in. Yeah, we got battery space. I mean, especially if we move it. I mean, this is probably gonna get moved back though. But yeah, we got space. Yeah, we could probably make this whole thing shorter. Or less. Not shorter. Less long? It's confusing because short is also the opposite of long and tall. But yeah, I think we're gonna make the whole thing shorter. I think I actually defined it by this. Yeah. Why not finish this? Once things start finishing, they start finishing pretty quick. We're gonna keep it subtle 70. Picking a. Yeah. Oh yeah, we don't wanna. Ooh. It's like I think now I'm realizing like, oh, we made this really short. Now I'm having to like think about how I'm gonna get the electronics across it, because it's not gonna. Like we still needed a hole for the screw to come up the bottom. It's gonna be like a slot. It's not even gonna be. You're gonna be. Give us a little more to work with. Extra 2 millimeters. Okay, so all right. Tangent. Five millimeters, I think, is right. Basically a requirement. 5 mil. Really threading the needle here. Yeah, we are like leaving no room for these wires to get through. Yeah, it's good enough, I think. Be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. If it's not fine, I'll find out. before it gets into people's hands. Okay, now let's worry about where the N20 is going to go. Also, wait, I didn't, like, something's not right. Because this first feature, this is supposed to be like way up here. I had this whole thing just so I could make sure it's not going to be too thin. And so over here it's thin as heck. Okay. Oh, that's still pretty thin. So I think 13 maybe? Like that, yeah, that's much better. It just create a really thin feature up top, which I didn't like. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to, haven't downloaded that. I need to download a new that driver. $38 because ideally we just barely have the wheels sticking out in the back. Actually, we could probably go further back than that. I think that might be good. Want to keep it relatively chill. Although I may end up wanting revisiting this. It's getting, normally I don't stream past 9. So, oh, thanks for tuning in. But I'll probably do this next week and the weekend after. The 20th. Oh, the 20th I have something planned. You can't see my calendar right now, but the 20th I'll be I might do something special for that stream. I'll let you guys know next week. Hopefully I should hash out the details. It might, that one will be the one on the 20th. I'll probably start earlier, but yeah, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Probably this same thing for the next 2 weeks, and then like I said, 20th I'll announce what that is closer to the date.